Never met someone like you, felt something like your touch. I wish we would have met tonight. Sure, I've had lovers in my past, won't lie, I've had a blast, but none of them had your humor.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Southern Crown. My name's Chloe Dietz. I'm your host, and today I'm here with
Tara Levine, Miss San Antonio 2025.
Yay! And I'm so excited to have you here today, Tara.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Okay, so I know a little bit off camera, we talked about your journey with pageants and how you haven't really done them a lot before. So I want to hear all about that.
Yes. So I actually was a former model. So I've done a lot of modeling before, runway, editorial, print. I went to my first Miss pageant. I showed up. I was completely unprepared. I had no idea what I was doing. I brought my prom dress, which was like this bright pink, very fluorescent, very unique.
Yes.
But it was such a prom gown. And that's what I showed up for my first pageant. And I had no idea. So no knocks to anyone that loves that color or anything. It was not what you would see typically from a Miss
Not
pageant.
the normal.
Not the normal. And so I had no idea. I had showed up. I was very unprepared. And one look around these beautiful girls who had these gorgeous gowns, they were all prepared. I thought to myself, what did I get myself into? I had no clue about this pageant world. And before I could see my potential, I mean, how many of us in life, we exit before we can actually see our potential just based on the story we tell ourselves, the narrative we tell ourselves. I gave up. I walked out. I ran out of that building as quickly as possible.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't even compete, Chloe. I was
crazy.
afraid. I just left. And then a couple years later, I got into modeling. I was doing runway. And so I kind of regained my confidence. But competing now and winning the title of Miss San Antonio, I'm giving my 18-year-old version of myself a big, nice, warm hug and reminding her of her worth and her value. And so that is why
much.
I am here. Yeah.
So how many years do you know between whenever you first competed or first didn't compete in the pageant and you winning Miss San Antonio? How many years was that?
20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm
amazing.
40 years old now. That was way back when I was 18 years old. And so it's 20 plus years, and it feels so good to kind of revisit that version of myself and give her a pat on the back and tell her that she's totally worth it.
And I think that it's so great that at 40 years old, you're competing on the Miss Texas USA stage. Was it just last year that they extended the age? I'm pretty sure, right?
It was 2022 where they allowed for Miss contestants to be married mothers. In addition to, they released the age gap, which the age requirement, which was 28.
Yes. And that's just incredible. I've noticed this year going through the contestants list even that the age range is much different than it used to be because formerly looking at it, I feel like the Miss division was mostly just fresh out of teen, like fresh 18, 19-year-olds. And now we're seeing women with full, well-rounded careers and all these amazing things. And that's what I want to get into next.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about your career.
Let's do it.
Okay. Tell me everything.
So I graduated from law school in 2018 and I got my law degree. And at the time, my husband is military. And so we would have been moving from city to city, state to state. And I would have been expected to sit for the bar in every single state as a lawyer, which
crazy.
Is a disaster. Yeah. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
So as a result of that, we moved to Spokane, which was Washington State. And I got a job as a prosecutor in the county prosecutor's office handling major crimes for child pornography.
Wow. That sounds
Can
awful.
You imagine that? I'm like, I don't know if that's something that I want to do, especially being a mother myself with 2 small children. So I kind of did this old school thing where I printed out my resume and I went downtown and I was handing out my resumes to different prospects for opportunities to see if they needed any contractual work, they needed any type of review, they needed compliance, anything. And I ended up landing a job replacing another attorney in risk management. And risk management is kind of just the oversight of the company's exposure to risk. Fast forward a few years, I'm now serving as a VP. I say serving. Every role and opportunity I'm ever in, I say serving because it's some type of service.
Yes.
But it is my paid job. The company does pay me a salary.
That's so funny, like, to specify that, but yes, for sure. I love it.
So I am actually VP of financial crime. So it's just kind of oversight for the company's exposure to risk, for sure.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to hear from you and to talk to other people who are involved in law, because that's what I'm interested in.
I love that.
My ambition is to be an intellectual property lawyer.
Of course.
So,
go girl.
yeah,
Show
I mean,
'em.
do we
Of
see what we're
course.
doing?
Yes. So on brand for you.
Yes. No, but I'll definitely have to talk to you about that a little bit
Yeah.
later and throughout your year.
I would love to help pour into you LSAT prep, how to get you get ready, what type of schools you're going to go to, how to put your personal statement together, sister. So I got you.
I'm
100%.
totally interested in SMU right now. Like, that's like
Okay.
my number one school. I want to go there for political science because I feel like that
Yes.
really opens up everything.
100%.
Yeah, because I was thinking that I wanted to do like specifically trademark law, and then people were telling me like, oh, you have to go to school for engineering. I was like, no.
I don't know if I necessarily
Yeah.
agree with that. Okay.
Yeah. No, and it's so hard too because you talk to a lot of different people and they all have different opinions on
Yes.
what you should do and what will like set you up the best. And all I know is I'm not going to school for engineering.
Yeah. I think political science is a really good step into it. I think that there's a lot of reading, contractual agreements, negotiations, all that
Yes.
kind of stuff that you're going to foresee for sure. With
Yes, and a lot of like logic seminars and stuff. I was looking today on the SMU website at like my curriculum requirements.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this all is kind of like sounding like things that will be helpful for me. So yeah.
Totally.
Okay, you've mentioned your kids. I want to hear
Yes.
about your family. Tell
Thank
me.
you so much. So I've been married for 18 years. I'm a military spouse. My husband has been in the military for 25 years, and being a military spouse has been so rewarding, but it's also been one of the most challenging things ever to uproot your family and move from city to city, state to state. Every single small community has its own unique culture, and having to uproot and leave my family, my mother who's here behind the scenes today, so grateful for her, but having to uplift and move from my family to go to a different city can be very challenging. But the military community is fantastic. They're very supportive and encouraging. And so there's been lots of times where my husband's been gone for 6 months out of the year. I'm a single mom trying to raise 2 small children kind of on my own. So it can be definitely challenging. So there's a lot of grace and sacrifices that military spouses make in support of honoring our spouses that are serving this country. And so I have 2 boys also. My son Christian is 14. He is like my little bestie. And then my 9-year-old son, who is Carter, and he is just the most magical kid ever. He's a spitfire. He is very opinionated. I'm sure he gets it from his mom, but he's very outspoken, very opinionated. He just jumped out and was like, I'm your world. What are we doing? So,
I love it. And which one has their football game today?
Carter's out there snagging some flags, some football. So he's super excited and I love it. I love watching them grow and develop and seeing how myself and my husband are reflected in these small human beings that have so much personality and purpose and drive, and just letting them flourish and just being their support system. That's something I heard from you in your mom's podcast where she talks a lot about just letting you be and being there to cheer you on and support you. So it's a magical thing.
Go watch it, guys.
Yes.
Go watch the last episode.
Yes, it was so good. So good.
I feel like you being a mother and so accomplished in your career and all that stuff, that really is building up to be the foundation of a great Miss Texas USA. And I'm just so excited to watch you. I'm so ready. I got my tickets to Miss Prelims and Miss Finals.
You go, sister.
Oh, I need to see all of it.
Those.
Yes, I'm a pageant fan. I always say like I'm a pageant competitor, but first I'm a pageant fan.
I love that.
Because not only like am I a fan of watching the misses, but also the other girls in my division.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching you on Instagram. I love you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited to meet everybody, you know? It's like meeting celebrities.
Yes. And that's what it is, right? It's the sisterhood. It's the
Yes.
connection. It's like you've watched people's journey for so long. You've seen their official headshot. Official headshots just came out yesterday.
Everybody go check the website. Vote for People's Choice.
Yes. And so that was such a big moment. And then just watching people kind of continue to exercise their platforms and share. I love everything that you're doing. I'm such a big fan. So this is like, it's a moment for sure.
I love it so much. And I remember at the Miss San Antonio pageant, because I was there too.
Yes.
I was watching the competition, and I will just say you were the clear, like, standout to me.
Thank you.
And my mom and I predicted it from the beginning. As soon as you graced the stage, I was like, yep, that's her. And I was not disappointed because I had been following you before, and you know that.
Thank you.
I reached out. And as soon as I saw you on the stage, I was like, that's Miss Texas.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
I'm so honored.
And on the topic of stage performance, girl, your body, your fitness.
Thank you.
How do you upkeep your fitness with such like a busy life, it seems?
Yes, so busy. But I'm a person that when I was in my 20s, I have been building and lifting weights since I was in my 20s. Like I would get up at 4 a.m. I would go to the gym. I would lift weights. And then especially being a lawyer and going through law school, that's how I maintained my sanity.
Okay.
I had 2 small children. My husband was going on TDY. So I was not only raising these 2 small children on my own, I was also in school. Fitness was my thing. I was the crazy person out in the parking lot doing jump ropes just before I had a dissertation to maintain my sanity. So it was literally my scapegoat. And so when you see me out there on the stage and you think, wow, she looks fit, just know that it's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of hard work, but it's also something I love and I enjoy for sure.
I love it. Pageant girls, we put so much effort, I feel like, into preparing for a pageant. And this is a great example of somebody who didn't just prepare for a pageant, she prepared for her life.
That's right.
This is not like just, oh, I need to get fit for the pageant. It's a lifestyle that you're choosing every single day. And I think that's so important.
Yeah.
I saw both Ariana and Dallin posting on their stories recently, like so much tips and tricks.
I love that.
But oh my gosh, yes. It's so great.
It's so
I was
helpful.
thinking like if I had never competed in a pageant, this would be like my holy grail right now.
Just good life information.
But they were both posting about fitness and about just taking care of your body and being nice to yourself, because I see so often that girls in this industry, like, we don't necessarily do the most healthy things to ourselves. And I think that's so important somebody like you're fit. Like that is just so inspiring. And I love it.
Okay. I was going to say I was going to share a little bit more just from a nutrition perspective. Like just even raising my kids, because my husband and I were big nutritional people. We're big on our health, our fitness, our wellness, our mental health as well. And so we are people that we believe you are what you eat. And so we try to stay away from processed foods. My 14-year-old son is like making protein shakes in the morning.
I love it.
Like that's how my 9-year-old, listen, I would love to say that we've got everybody on board. He's not quite there yet.
He seems like his own person.
Yeah, he is his own person, and he just marches to the beat of his own drum. So he's not on board yet.
He'll be an interesting one to see grow up.
Yeah, so he just marches to the beat of his own drum. But yeah, my 14-year-old, he's all about protein shakes. We do a lot of protein shakes. We have a lot of salads in my house. Chicken and rice is like our favorite thing. And so we are big people about paying attention to the ingredients, making sure that we're avoiding red dyes. And we feel like what you put in your body is your temple, right? And what you feed your temple is going to have significant impacts, not only on your skin, but your mental health, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself. And so we want to cherish the temple that God has given us and make sure that we are taking such good care of ourselves.
I love that perspective. That's so, I think, also motivating, because something that I always tell myself, I mean, especially right now, it's like crunch time. I've been like trying so hard to keep my food healthy food and just like good for me, but it's hard being in high school. Everybody's like, let's eating pizza, and I'm like, oh, like I meal prepped, like don't play. I got my cabbage and my steak.
I get it, and I'm personally like that. So my mom and I yesterday on the way coming in, I had a protein pack, but at the same time she had gotten some cookies, and as much as I did not want to have those cookies, I was like, listen, sister has been working on her body. I am going to reward myself every now and then, and I feel like it's perfectly fine if you have a little bit every now and then, because what happens if you go through this whole entire pageant prep, and by the end of the pageant prep, you are going to binge like crazy on everything that you did not get to have. So I think it's fine. Everything in moderation. Reward yourself. Have a cookie, girl. Have the cookie. You have worked hard. So can I ask you some questions?
Of course you can.
Okay. I want to know, what are you most looking forward to for Texas? You are very accomplished, sister. It's an honor to just be in your space today.
Thank you.
What are you looking for most?
I'm really excited to go back and interview again. Last year, I felt that my interview was a little bit like inauthentic. I didn't have a genuine story behind myself. I was really there for the experience.
Of course.
Not that I wasn't there trying as hard as I could to win, but I didn't fully understand the depth of what the pageant was and how serious this was. And I'm really excited to go back and share my story again, but be really true to myself And I've developed so many things that I'm excited to talk about, like the Southern Crown and my mom and I's mission-driven organization, Cycle Connections. I can't call it a nonprofit yet, but yeah, I'm just really excited for all that stuff.
Yeah, I love that so much. And if you need any help or support with nonprofit, I do have a nonprofit myself. I've gone through the whole filing of a 501c. Yes. So I have a nonprofit organization called Talia's Team. It's in honor of my younger sister who unexpectedly passed away, literally right in the middle of law school finals.
Wow.
And so it was a whirlwind. It was definitely a journey for me to have to put that grief aside, to be there for my mother, to help my mother bury a child. No parent ever wants to bury their child. And so that was a really tragic experience for us. She was 30 years old. But beyond that, I created this nonprofit organization because as I watched my younger sister kind of develop and transition into becoming her best version of herself, I noticed that there was a big struggle from middle school to high school and then from high school into college.
Yeah.
Girls tend to get wrapped up not only in their relationships with their friends, but they also get wrapped up into the ideology of boys and trying to figure out who they are and where do I want to go to school? Who do I want to be when I grow up? And that's the most tender time for girls, figuring out who they truly are. And society always tells girls who they think they should be. There's always this information about the standard of beauty. How should we look? How should we dress? What should we be? And so I feel like that was a big challenge for young girls, figuring out who they truly are. So,
I'm going through it now.
Yes, I totally get
I'm
it.
Like right in the throes of it.
A teenager, right?
And I feel like especially with social media being so prevalent right now, there's these like genres of girls. There's like, the boho chic girl, the emo girl, like all the different like types of person you can be. And you really want so badly to put yourself into one of these boxes. Yes. And I've had to learn, and I think that pageants have helped with this, that you don't need to fit into one specific box. It's more important to be a well-rounded girl who's, I mean, it's hard to just say like, be authentically you. Totally. Because, I mean, you still are trying to be something. And honestly, like, it just takes a lot of self-reflection. Yeah. And a lot of time with yourself and with God. And I don't know. My mom is a great source 100%. For me too. Like for me to bounce off what I'm thinking. And she's like, okay, be for real. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it's human nature, right? Like we all want to belong. That is a part. We are tribal beings as human beings. We all want to find our tribe. We want to find out where we fit in. And so for young girls, it's a big challenge. And so when I created my nonprofit, it was to help young girls such as yourself and find these girls to help put them in contact with executive mentors. I have 13 mentors currently, and it's ranging from scientists to lawyers to doctors to nurses to beautician. And what I do is I partner these young girls up with these executive women because we all have support system, right? We all have families, we all have friends, we all have those people that are in our corner. But sometimes it's really good to get the opinion of a non-biased person. Say, for example, you wanting to go into law school, me supporting you as your mentor, I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to tell you the goods, the bad, the ugly. If you're interested in going down one direction, if you're not sure even what school to go to, that is what the mentorship is there to help you and to cheer you on as you're going through your journey. Because I tell you what, there's going to be moments where you're thinking, can I really do this? And you need to have that person there that says, hey, listen, this is normal. This is a part of the process. You're going to question yourself. You're going to doubt yourself. But sister, you've got this. Sleep on it. Come back tomorrow. Let's do a pull up tomorrow, have a conversation, and let's get you back on your path. And especially with most, I feel like the public information that I seek out, like I'm going to go watch a YouTube video. I'll go like on somebody's Instagram page and watch them talk about it. But that's not always necessarily going to be down to the root of it and be the most truthful, because if it's publicly out there, it's kind of a facade in a way. Totally. And I think that this organization, I literally did not know about this. Yeah. It's amazing. Yes. I can't believe I didn't know about this. Yeah. But I need to promote it more then, is what it sounds like. My mom. Yeah. She's saying yes. No, but it's kind of in a way, it sounds like how the difference between talking to your mom about your emotions and talking to a therapist. Yes. Like somebody outside and private that will help you, right? Yeah, because when you get into it, and I'll tell you, when you get into the legal world, when you get into any type of industry, there's always these unsaid things, these unwritten rules. There's these emotions that you're going to experience. There's these things that you're just like, you're going to get in there and you're going to go, I had no idea that it was like this. So having someone there that you can call and say, did you have this experience? Like, what is going on? How do I navigate this? That feels so good, knowing that you have someone that's been where you are, that's journeyed the same road, that can say, hey, listen,
this is a part of the process.
Yes.
This is what you're going to experience. So keep going. And filing the 501(c)(3) for a nonprofit,
yes.
I can really help you on that end too,
Absolutely.
sister.
I will definitely be reaching out to you because we're kind of like putting that on my dad a little bit. Sorry,
I don't
Chris.
blame you.
Yeah.
It's not a fun
It's
process.
A lot.
It is a lot.
We usually give him all the paperwork to do it.
It's a lot for us. It is a lot to be a nonprofit. And that's another thing that I just love about my organization. It is a nonprofit. We have amazing mentors that are volunteer mentors. The girls that are participating in the program, they all want to be there. So we want people that want to be there.
I love it. Okay, you asked me what my part of the competition I'm most excited for is. I want to hear what you're most excited for about the weekend.
Oh, I'm super excited just to kind of be my best authentic version of myself.
Yes.
I've done a lot of work on myself to be 40 years old, to have so many titles, to run a business, to have a nonprofit, to be a mother, to be a wife. I'm looking forward to just shining, standing up there and shining. And of course, there's the connection with the girls. I'm super excited about meeting some of the other girls, the teens. I'm so excited to meet all the teen girls and to build those relationships and have that sisterhood.
For sure.
But really, I want to be very transparent and deep down and honest. I'm really just looking forward to me being on that stage, me showing up in interview, and me just being myself.
I know. I'm like so ready to put out the version of myself that I've been working on for the past 2 years.
So
like,
you get it,
yes,
right?
I totally get where you're coming from because there's so much work that goes in behind the scenes for us pageant girls. And I know a lot of the people who watch this are just kids from my school. And I mean, y'all see it. I come to school with no makeup on every day and my laptop doing pageant stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of work that is going to be presented on the stage for everyone to see. And honestly, getting judged on it is one of my favorite things. Yes. I love the opportunity to be judged for my hard work. I do choir and stuff like that. So we do competitions and that's all that is. Literally all year. It's just work on a piece, go to a competition, get judged. Mm-hmm. Work on a piece, go get judged. And I mean, I've also grown up in pageants. So since 4 months old, literally been toted on the stage to be judged for my hard work. And I don't know.
I love that. It sounds like it's so inspiring because it sounds like you really take heed to constructive feedback.
Absolutely.
And you take those things and you incorporate them into yourself and make yourself the best version that you can possibly be. And it's a lot of fun to consistently evolve. Mm-hmm. And that's what life is. Life is all about evolution. Life is all about every year that you get older. I have this ritual to where every year on my birthday, I take a week off and I really just sit with myself and I meditate and I process and I figure out who I want to be. What does the next year look like for me? How do I transform into the best version of myself? And I look at the ugly versions too, the things that maybe I haven't been happy with about myself. Maybe I reacted to something that I wasn't too proud of. And I figure out what's underneath all of that. So what you're describing is totally the beautiful part of being a human being and being able to evolve. And then just the world gets to see that.
Absolutely. And I think that every year, every time I look at me at a pageant, year to year, I look at that person and I'm like, she really thought that she was her best self. And then you kept going. I don't know. It's just, I look back at who I was last year at this time of year. I'm getting my year go to days. And I'm like, wow, I felt so prepared. And just to think now how prepared I feel and how ready I feel, I'm so ready to get out there again. I love that
so much. So what has been your biggest, that version of yourself from last year to this version that's going to be on that stage in a few weeks? What is the biggest significant version update?
My mindset. So last year going in, I mean, if we're being completely honest, I went in with the idea, this is mine to lose and I need to win or I got nothing out of it.
Ooh.
Because I had never been to a pageant and lost and felt like I gained anything. Because honestly, leading the year before that, I went to a state pageant. I won the state pageant. I swept all the optionals. I was kind of riding a high and I was a little bit too confident. Mm-hmm. I had just given up that title and I was going into Texas Teen USA and I felt like if I didn't come out with the crown, I came out with nothing. And that gave me a whole new perspective though. After the week, not coming out with the crown, I felt so accomplished. And I had never felt like that before from losing. I still look back on those videos and I'm proud of my performance. I had no regrets of what I put out there on that stage. I had regrets in the mindset I went in with because I felt like I didn't get to fully appreciate the breadth of what that was. But yeah, that's my biggest mindset changes this year. I'm going in with the idea, of course I want to win, of course I want to perform well. But I also, now knowing the amazing things that can come from just competing and just being on that stage, all the opportunities I've gained, I'm just excited for that too.
Oh, I
to happen
love
all
that.
again.
Yes, girl. That was so
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful to hear, so beautiful to witness. And it resonates so much with me because I understand exactly where you're coming from in those moments. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course. And I just think that that's also a really good message to any other teens who are just competing for the first time.
100%.
Because I know, I mean, yesterday headshots came out, and I'm sure that for some people that was a shock to see, oh wow, like this is what I'm stacked up against. Because I know last year it was for me too.
Yeah.
And you're really not against anyone. You're competing with these girls. You're going into this weekend with these girls to have this experience with these people that you can call your sisters forever. And I don't know, it's just an incredible experience that it's hard to explain really until you go through it yourself, and you'll know exactly how I'm feeling afterwards.
Yeah, I love that. That's so beautiful. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you. Okay, let's see. What are we going to talk about?
That was really good. I was thinking too. I was thinking for me, like,
let me see what our time is.
Okay,
we're at 30 minutes. So like, oh wait, we can do something fun. This is whenever we can start fun questions, and then we'll do like the close.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm trying to think.
I have a question off camera when we're done with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna ask you about like what have you been watching on TV, like something like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do it.
So recently, I know I've been watching that Natalia Grace thing on Hulu. What have you been watching on TV recently?
So you might be shocked to know this. I'm a very unique individual in the aspects that I love a Real Housewives, and I also love a good science fiction.
Oh, okay, sci-fi.
I love sci-fi, and it's so weird because I love something that I've been watching Paradise, which is on Hulu.
Yes, I've seen
very
it.
Very sci-fi, very much like dig deeper into the rabbit hole. I'm one of those girlies. I'm like all into the aliens.
My mom is too.
Oh my gosh, I'm so into it. I'm asking all these questions like, how did they build the pyramids? But yet they didn't have boats to come over to America. Like, I'm so confused about so many different
you have the whole theory mapped out.
Yes.
Do you have one of those boards with like the red tape all over it?
Oh my gosh, I should get one of those.
Yes.
It's in my head.
You need to.
But I'm a big sci-fi girly. I love the Real Housewives. That's like, you can't go wrong.
Which ones are your favorite?
I love Atlanta's on right now. I love Beverly Hills. I love Salt Lake. I really love them all. And the biggest thing that I always try to tell with people are always giving me a hard time because they're like, oh, Real Housewives, that's such junk TV. And I'm like, no, but what it is, it's teaching women about having relationships and having conflict in their relationship and talking through those conflicts within the relationship. And it's very interesting because you see each woman's point of view and their perspective. And then when they all come together, they have this conversation and they talk about it. And it's so relatable. You can understand different facets of each person's, their character.
I've never even thought of it like that before. Okay, so I watch Married to Medicine, and it's basically just like Real Housewives, but like the husbands too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same thing. I never have thought about it that way because I'm like literally addicted to it. I was like watching it the whole time getting ready before you came here.
Did you see the one where Gregory and King got into this whole like...
Yes, I love that there's always like disagreements both ways.
Yes.
But everybody has beef on there. I love it.
Yes. But to me, I feel like that's a part of life, right?
Yes.
We go through life, even I'm sure with your relationships with your friends in your circles, everything. We all have these types of conflicts in our relationships. And sometimes it's very interesting to watch how people approach conflict, how they either self-reflect and say, well, how did I contribute to that conflict? Or if they just project their own insecurities onto other people. So it's really interesting to see how people navigate conflict and how they resolve that internally and then bring it to the conversation for other people and how they communicate that.
And I also, I feel like especially with that show, it's interesting to see the differences in the way that women are going through these conversations and the differences in the men.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
Very different.
I mean, a girl will hold on to the same drama for like the whole season. And it just takes them like 2 episodes.
The guys are like, yeah, I didn't like that you did that. All right, man, see you later. Like,
exactly.
It's like totally over.
Fine, and you can keep talking. But the girls, it's like, I'm leaving. We're leaving the gala right now. Let's go.
Yep.
I love it.
And I love the shade. I think
Yes.
the subtle shade is so funny. It gets me like totally giggling.
I know, it's hilarious. Okay. Oh, do you have any pets?
Oh gosh. Okay, so we had an American Hairless Terrier.
Is it a dog?
It's a dog.
Yeah, okay.
We had as in he passed away last year. It was the most devastating thing. I actually have his tattoo here. His name was Jasper.
Oh, that's so cute.
And yes, I'm a pageant tattooed girl.
I love it, actually.
Yes.
It's so cute.
Something so
Yes,
different,
it's very
right?
different.
It's very different.
I was like, before headshots and all that came out, I was like, I wonder if she's going to cover them. Because this one right here, I was like, I wonder if we're going to cover it.
Yes. And honestly, Chloe, we had lots of conversation. Like there was a lot of conversation about the tattoos and about covering the tattoos. And I felt like if I'm going to go all in and I'm going to be authentic version of Tara, her tattoos are going to be there.
Yes.
There's Miss Philippines who won a couple years ago. She had tattoos. I feel like it's a part of self-expression.
Yes, for sure.
And every single one of my tattoos all mean something so significant to me. They are a representation of a part of my life. They're a representation of a version of me. They're a part of my story and my journey. And so I didn't feel like hiding those things. I felt
totally
like if
agree
I
with
hid
that.
it, I was hiding parts of myself.
I remember I was competing. I was like freshly 13, and I have like a lot of piercings in my ears. I have like since forever, because I used to have a little thing like every time I would go through a painful thing in my life, I'd get a piercing because nothing can hurt more.
I love that.
It started after I tore my ACL. I was like, okay, we're getting like the conch, I guess. That's like the most painful one, pierced, because I was like, I can go through anything. And I was backstage at a pageant, and an like older woman who worked for the pageant, I had my hair behind my ear, and she came and did this.
Oh.
And I was like, hello? She was like, I think you need to cover those up. And I was like, oh, no, I don't think so. Like, I actually like my hair back there. And she's like, okay, whatever you say. And girl, I won. Like, it was not that deep. It was not that serious.
That part.
And that's how I feel about your tattoos, because if they have a story behind them and they really mean something to you, then you need to show them and display them to fully show who is Tara.
Yes, absolutely. And I love it. I love this one right here. It's my favorite. It says, if I told you a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? And it's a representation of, even in our dark times, as human beings, we still bloom. Like we're still growing, we're still developing. And I feel like we always want to be in the light and be a part of the light, but there's so much beauty and growth and development that happens within us in our darkest times. And so that's a reminder of that. And so I love, this is probably my favorite tattoo. I always get a comment on it. Somebody always says the placement of it is great.
So pretty.
Yes.
It looks so like long and beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love it. Well, this has been such a fun episode to film. I feel like every time I film another episode, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. But really, I feel like this might be one of my favorites.
Oh, this is my favorite. I love being here and connecting with you. Thank you for letting me ask you some questions too.
Oh, that's always the most fun. I love to get a variety of stuff going on.
I love it.
But okay, you can follow me at chloe.deets on Instagram, chloedeets.pageants, and the.southerncrown. And what are your socials?
Mine is at coach.Tara Levine, and that's Levine. My nonprofit is at Talia's Team Institute, and of course the at Miss San Antonio USA.
Everybody go follow and keep up with both of our journeys on our way to state. I think now it's in just 26, 27 days. Yes, I'm so ready. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.